Today, we're really pleased and thrilled to announce the collaboration and the partnership with the KYOW Cancer Fund, RWJ Barnabas, and Rutgers Women's Basketball in establishing the Rutgers Women's Basketball Cancer Support Game Plan. Since since I arrived here, one of the things that was important to me was to really establish a connection with our community. Um, our fan support is tremendous, and we wanted to do something that would have sustaining impact with the people in this region who come out and support us. And so establishing this game plan where we're going to be able to support women who are fighting cancer in underserved communities. It's something that's going to last for a long time and have far-reaching implications. So today is a day that we were able to announce that, and I have to definitely give a shout out to Stephen Fischler, our chief of staff, who kind of spearheaded this. We talked about it actually over a year ago, what we wanted to do and how we wanted to do something, and so he spent tireless and countless hours working with RWJ Barnabas, working with the KYOW Cancer Fund to make this thing come to fruition. So that is what I am excited about. What we were able to do and announce today. So just want to start off by saying, like, just so excited that we're able to do this for our community, and we're counting on it being a very impactful program. So,
kind of building off of that, to see all the survivors and see the joy, especially the ones that were able to come out with the starting lineup.
yeah.
What does it mean to see that every year?
Man, that was they pushed me out I couldn't even get in the starting lineup. I was like, they were so enthusiastic, right? And enjoyed that special moment. And it was cool to see them all be down there with the anthem and starting lineups. And so that was a lot of fun. It made the start of the game for us really fun.
Destiny Adams with another double-double.
Yeah.
How have you seen her game evolve, and have you seen her start to take that ownership or leadership and get it to me? I want to get things done.
Yeah, no question. She's definitely embraced the role of being the go-to player, and she's taken everybody's best defensive efforts. Tonight they were doubling her from Sarah Williams, which is a tall, hard to throw over, hard to throw out of that trap, and but she keeps fighting. That's the thing that's been great to watch her over the course of the season. Earlier in the season she might have gotten frustrated if she missed a shot or didn't pass out of the double team or anything, but now she'll keep fighting, and she plays with a lot of patience. She allows things to develop a little bit more than she did earlier in the season, and that's been cool to see.
Both games against Wisconsin this year, the offense has gotten off to some of those slow starts.
Yeah.
Do you think it's something in particular that Wisconsin does defensively, or is it just the shots aren't falling?
No, I don't think it's necessarily anything that Wisconsin is doing particularly or any really much different than some of the other teams. I just think we get shot opportunities. We got to make them. We can't have high turnover first quarters, and I think those two things kind of can make us start off slowly. And we've had 5 or 6 games in a row where I think we've had single-digit points in the first quarter, and we've just gotta. It seems like we need to settle down before we really get comfortable scoring, and so I think that comes with a young backcourt, to be honest.
Your conference wins, you've been able to knock down the 3 ball. I know Erica Lafayette gave you 2 threes today. Can you just speak to how she's been really coming along for you as the season's going?
Yeah, she is finding her role on this team, and she's put in so much work to become a consistent 3-point shooter for us. And early in the season, she was like, I put in all this work, and I was like, just relax. It'll come. You just got to keep doing the work. And so now it's coming. But she's just a fantastic energizer. And when she makes a shot, it's a jolt of energy for our whole team because of who she is on a daily basis.
You made a push again in the second half, like you did in the first meeting against Wisconsin. We've seen you do that even with slow starts. Is there anything different you do after the first quarter?
I think our energy on the defensive end kind of turns up a little bit. We've been pressing a little bit more. It's hard to press when you don't make shots, right? So when we start to make some shots, then we're able to press a little bit more. We're able to generate some offense from our defense, and I really think that's it. Our defense gets a little bit more active, and we get more opportunities. We get more second chance points. So that's pretty much it.
Antonia Bates, one of the first players up on that press, had another good game distributing as well, had that big block in the first quarter. Even if she's not one of the primary scorers on the team, what can you say about her impact on both ends?
Yeah, she's our facilitator, and she does a really good job of, trying to find people, trying to push the tempo, trying to keep the ball moving so that her teammates get really good opportunities.
I wanted to ask, how do you think your team did with Sarah Williams? I know she's a dynamic scorer. She gave you guys 31 that first meeting.
Yeah.
This game, another double-double, but I saw that you guys were sending the double at her. How do you think your team
Well,
did
you
that?
know what? I think Sarah might be, so far, she might be the most improved player in the conference. And that's saying a lot because I thought she was pretty good last year as a freshman. But she plays with a lot more poise. She's added the high post jumper consistently. So she's a handful every night. I thought we did a really good job on her in the first half. We got her into some turnovers. We were able to keep the ball out of her hands. The second half, when you have a tremendous player of her caliber, it's only a matter of time before she kind of gets going. In the second half, I thought she did a good job of getting offensive rebounds. She got to the free throw line. She was a little bit more mobile. And got loose from us a little bit when we were pressing and different things, and our teammates were able to find her. So she's a good player, and I thought she definitely had a good second half. But I thought the first half we did a pretty good job on her.
Two freshmen on the team, Lisa Thompson, Jill Herter, they haven't had as much of an impact of late.
Yeah.
Is that kind of like that kind of freshman wall? Is that something that you and the staff anticipated? And what do you tell them to, I guess, keep them active and keep them involved, even when it's not going their way?
Yeah, you gotta keep playing, So that's the thing, and you have to keep growing in practice. You have to keep growing in your understanding of the game and growing in your confidence. At this point, Lisa is dealing with some medical issues, and she's kind of on minutes restrictions, and so she's fighting and working through that. The season is long and hard, right? And they've got to continue to fight and work through it and get better with that experience.
Coach just said the season is long and hard. With a tough loss like this and a stretch of tough losses, how do you kind of keep your team in it and keep their heads up for the next game and not looking in the past?
Because that's what we do all year, and that's part of the culture of our program. It doesn't matter if you have a big win, a big loss, tough loss, whatever. It's we get to we have the midnight rule. We get to midnight to celebrate or commiserate, and then the next day it's on to the next thing, and that's who we are. So there's a lot to play for every night. There's experience, there's learning, there's growth, there's connection, there's chemistry. There's so many things that can be developed. And you don't get to grow without playing. So that's just our focus and what we do as a program. So it's not hard for us to, deal with this disappointment and then move on to the next game.
Kind of talked about it before, talked about it throughout the season. On days like today or days like when you're celebrating the 50th season of the program, what does it mean to have all that support behind you guys? No matter what the result may be, you'll still have all that support behind you.
That's another element that in terms of how you keep going and why you keep fighting is because it's not just about how we feel in this moment. And that's why I started this press conference with talking about the initiative we're going, because there's a whole legion of people behind us that are supporting us, and they are excited about the future of the program. So they're growing with us. They're going through the pains of watching us establish ourselves as a program. And so when we know that and we think about that and we feel that, that's the thing that fuels us to get up the next day and keep marching on and keep marching through.